don't have any, open forum. So this is for members of the public are invited to speak on any item that does not appear on the agenda and that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Commission. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please note that the Commission may not take action on these issues brought forth under open forum, but may refer issues to staff for action at a further meeting. So anybody want to talk? Yes. Since we don't have speaker names, speaker choice, can you say your name, please?
Yeah, and a clarification on that, Mr. Chair. I was reading the regulations for commission meetings. My understanding, and I'll check with the clerk, is that actually a person doesn't have to identify themselves if they do not want to at a public meeting. I learned this from a different assignment that I was working on. There was a committee, there was a special committee that was calling witnesses to the stand, and I learned at that point that someone can come up there and say their piece, but they don't necessarily have to identify themselves. So I'll double check on that, but I think for this meeting...
Well, that's nice to know, because sometimes the mayor only gives us 1 minute to talk, and so much to say, it takes time to say my name, so I will file that away for future. But anyhow, welcome.
Thank you. My name...
I can't hear,
it's not really working.
can you turn it on? It's
Turn it on and tap it a couple times. It takes a few seconds.
turn it on the bottom and wait 10 seconds. This doesn't count on your 2 minutes.
4, 3, 2, 1. Isn't this a lot of fun?
Hello. I guess just off the bat, is this being filmed tonight?
No.
He is informally recording.
Oh, great. Great. Yeah, and my quick point is that if you could make the meetings, like the UAS meetings, I'm going to talk about that subject, if you make it more accessible, if there is a way that you can make it more. I know you're filming, and I called you. My name is Blair Beekman. I talked to you, and I found the film, but I had to look up YouTube, and I had to punch in a lot of stuff, and hopefully you can put it on your city website itself, as opposed to me doing the YouTube stuff. Okay, I have a 2-minute speech that I'd like to do here. There needs to be a strong line, a strong boundary on what each committee's job and role is in this process. This is a decision to be made by the neighborhood committee. The police can only give their position and opinions on this subject. I would not like for the neighborhood committee or one of the city managers to be pressured or hurried into a bad decision made by the police. Technology, I'm not happy you are feeling pressure from the following people: police, technology, the Defense Department, Homeland Security, the City of Santa Clara, the San Francisco, the 49ers, the Super Bowl, defense corporations, Silicon Valley, where the greatest innovation is syndrome, and money itself. My idea is to wait a year and let citizens be a part of this process. To have a genuine, transparent relationship between the government and its citizens, to me, is a kind and soft way to be. And it would also be interesting new form of innovation for Silicon Valley. Instead of the competitive Defense Department at-risk business model that is now being used by the U.S. government, the FAA, the defense corporations, to be foisted upon us, U.S. citizens, by the state and local government, police, and agencies, I feel that citizens, in this process, I feel the citizens are being left out to follow this, at-risk competitive business model that we're all feeling the pressure of and stuck under. I feel it's important to involve the citizenry in this process for us all.
Okay, can you conclude?
Yeah, and this is my conclusion.
Okay.
I'm ready for my conclusion. Just right time. In the year-long process, inviting the Open Government Commission to facilitate would invite an openness between citizens and government and lay down some written rules and laws and communications and understandings for us all, so our citizens do not have to fear our police and government, especially during this difficult, fragile, and tender time.
Okay.
P.S. I hope the police will not be as condescending and more forthcoming and open in the next meeting and meetings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will note that that was not on the agenda, which is why it's so an open forum. We will be having a community meeting on January 17th, this Saturday. It's a great opportunity to talk about it. We're having this meeting January 17th, 1 o'clock at the West Valley Branch Library. That's on San Tomas Aquino Road at Saratoga. So hopefully all of us will be there for that. Question on this comment, or?
Well, I know the UAS isn't on the agenda, but his comment reminded me that at the December 6th meeting, a document was provided by the police department, and I think they made one incorrect assumption, and that was, we talked about it, that the Neighbors Commission would provide a recommendation to another commission or a committee, as opposed to what we will do is provide our recommendation to the full city council. And I just want to make sure that that's cleared up before the next UAS meeting, so that no one is mistaken in thinking that we will do anything but provide our recommendation to the full city council.
So we report out to the whole council, I believe, but
Correct.
the subcommittee is a subset of the council that would meet beforehand, and we hopefully would get our comments out in time so that they would.
They could consider our
They could
recommendation,
consider.
I would think, in forming their own recommendation.
So both the subcommittee and the whole council will be getting our comments.
Right.
Right, and according to the calendar that was provided in that document, and as well as the PowerPoint presentation, the meeting that we're having to gather community input on the 17th will be the third of 4 meetings that we'll have on this subject. I'm working currently right now on developing the date and location for the February meeting besides the regular commission meeting in the east side of San Jose, more than likely in District 5. And then what will happen, it'll go to the Public Safety Committee. You're scheduled to look at all the input and whatever else may be happening in terms of what PD may be coming back to you with in March. And then also about a week later in March, the police will be giving their recommendations to the Public Safety Committee. Yours can piggyback that, or you can go directly to council in whenever they schedule that. So that hasn't, I think the goal is to have something in April on council's calendar, but that's still a moving target. So you're on your own timeline at this point. And if you decide to draft recommendations at your March meeting, and listen to what police has gathered, then you can make a document at that March meeting that could accompany to public safety, or it could be a separate document that eventually will go to council. That's a decision the commission can make.
And there are 5 meetings that we have. There's our commission meeting, and the 3 public meetings, and then
Right.
another commission. You said 4. So there are
Right, and you're gathering information of all of those, but by the time you hit March, you'll have had 4 sessions that will feed into your development of your recommendations. So public testimony is still possible at the March meeting, but probably need to focus on where you're going to be developing your document recommendations.
Okay.
Is he a part of a neighborhood commission?
I'm sorry, it's not public comment right now.
So you had your chance. So this is all the commission here except staff and liaison and a speaker. But, okay, other public comments?
Hi, I'm Jeff Levine. I'm in District 3. We have a ad hoc fireworks committee that has started up after the first of the year with the explosions all over the city. And I just want to urge all of you to go back to your districts and encourage people to participate and raise their voice, because we're trying to get the administrative citation onto the priority list. And we had made good progress last September, and with the election and now the turnover in the city council, we seem to have lost it. So we have an ad hoc committee that has started in District 3. We just had a meeting, and I just encourage everybody to make sure that all of the people know, everyday people, that we're addressing it, and they need to speak up and watch for emails and talk to their their council representatives to make sure that this gets addressed this year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else to speak on open forum? Okay.